Story time with Sophie.
Story time with Sophie.
Good girl. Go on then, read your book.
It's gonna be open.
I had my first daughter in 2009, and she was born very prematurely. She was born at 27 weeks, so she was only 755 grams, fighting for her life. Her development was very slow. She wasn't sort of walking until she was 2, so when she wasn't talking, it wasn't really ringing any alarm bells because everything was delayed. Call it mum's intuition. I don't know what it was. I just took her for an audiology appointment and just thought, we'll see. And they just said she's profoundly deaf. And it was like the biggest kick in the face ever, not because she was deaf, I wasn't embarrassed or in any way of that. It was like, how on earth do I support this child? What do I do? I don't even know where to start.
He failed his newborn hearing screening when he was a few days old, but my other child had it as well, so I didn't worry about it. And then we went to the community hospital, and then we got sent to Royal Surrey. And so it was he was 10 weeks, and then they said he's profoundly deaf. And I think because I had such limited experience of deafness, you kind of like think, oh my gosh, what's his future going to be like?
It was actually quite a shock to find out that our firstborn was deaf as well. Because in my family, if you're deaf, we always assumed that there was nothing that could help you, until we had the first audiology appointment that said, oh, do you know what? There is a bit of residual hearing here. We can do something with it. And it totally sidelined me. I really didn't expect that at all. So to start seeing some sort of responses using the hearing aids initially was amazing. And my youngest son, Jackson, was also born deaf, as we found out from the newborn screening test when he was about 6 hours old. Just thought, oh, here we go again. And we were quite excited about it because it means that both our boys are going to have a really close bond together.
We've obviously learned how to sign throughout the way. So we started with our Makaton back in the day, and then we've gone through. I'm on level 6. We've signed as a family because it's important. And a younger sister who was born in 2018, she's bilingual. Hey, Mommy, that's Baba. And here, now. Now.
Baba.
No, not you. It's not you.
Yes.
New Baba. Hey, new Baba. Hey, soon.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mama.
Not Grandma. Grandma's not pregnant. Hey, Mummy, now. Look. Baba. Yeah, you're 8 now. 1 Baba. 2 Babas.
Baba.
Yeah. In there now. I don't know. Boy, girl, maybe. I don't know.
Not last year, the year before, I did my level 2, and that's just helped so much. I mean, there's so many times at home where Toby can get really frustrated because there's lots of times when he can't have his ears on in the bath, going to bed. He wakes up in the middle of the night. First thing in the morning, you often be saying, no, back to bed and stuff like that, and I'd need to sign to him all the time. And also I just think it's the natural language for him.
Sign language takes away that frustration and also opens up opportunities to communicate with different members of society, whether they're deaf or hearing. So for me, it was about giving them choice.
At 7 years old, I still couldn't have a child who'd come home to say what she'd done. It was literally like, done what today? You'd like painting, outside, bike, you'd literally have to go through a list of stuff, and then she'd go and just nod at whatever one you got to, kind of thing. But that was very, very few and far between of what you could choose from. So she started Naughty Ash in year 3. when she was 7, and she got a cochlear implant on her left side. And she started there, and within about, it wasn't even 2 weeks, she sat with me in the car and she literally just went, signed a whole day of the moment she went in, the things she did, the people she saw, what she did at playtime, what she ate, how she felt. And I sat and I cried my eyes out in the car, because we'd gone from her choosing out of a very, very small closed set of things where she just nodded, to her signing fluently for 20 minutes, telling me about her day and her feelings about that.
I use it as daily practice. When I'm teaching, I'll give a clue to a child through sign language quite often if they're struggling to come up with a word, or they're trying to describe a colour of something. Because I've taught the children in my class colours, I'll sign the colour to help them and give them a little clue. And I just feel like it's something else for them to use. It's really visual, so for children it's really beneficial to know that that is orange. Oh yeah, R for orange. And we've included it in my school in the phonics scheme and within other year groups. Although it's only me that signs, I've taught teachers signs that I think will help them in certain lessons.
We do a lot more singing and signing throughout the school now to try and make it as part of learning their phonics sounds that go alongside it now. So it is much more aware. The awareness is out there, definitely more than it used to be.
Although like everything a teacher does, like bottles down to being inclusive and making sure that every child has the best opportunities and the child is at the heart of everything you do, you only really learn about the needs when the needs are there.
Going in again in September into a new year, into a new school was really tricky. And things like the people in the lunch hall all wearing sort of masks, you can't see their mouths, and then not really appreciating that he couldn't hear them. And he'd come home sort of saying, I tried to ask for something for lunch, but I couldn't understand what they were saying back to me. So we just had to, talk to them and work it out and say, can you lift it up? Can we get clear panel one? That was just like a little thing, but kind of was annoying him on a daily basis because he was just frustrated. When you want lunch, you want what you want, don't you?
For him, it's so important that he is connected to his deaf peers around him. So on a Tuesday morning, the school have deaf assembly, because he goes to a school which has got a hearing impaired unit attached to it. So he attends deaf assembly. So that's another half an hour out of his day that he might ordinarily be doing schoolwork.
She sent loads of other resources and they've been great. The little communication fans and the BSL cards and storybooks and stuff like that as well. Yeah. So we've had a flashing doorbell as well as a family. And I just think it's just invaluable support.
A bicycle helmet for him. We've struggled with bike helmets. The magnets on his processors fall off every time you put it on. Really uncomfortable. It pushes on his skin. This bit pushes on his skin. It's just been really hard to find something that works, is safe, and will stay on and where he can still hear us. And it just works so well. And it looks really cool as well because he's got one that's an Italian flag.
Just having a community that has knowledge that you might not have, that support, just knowing that there's someone there is it's reassuring, it's comforting. In terms of equipment, Lewis has benefited from a cycle helmet, because every time he put any other helmet on, it knocks the magnets off. So the bicycle helmet's been such a great find. He's also benefited when he was younger from being gifted, I think it was from a donation from one of the balls, which is a teddy bear with little cochlear implants attached to it, just to say, this bear's like me. And he loved that. It was his favorite thing for a very long time. I've signed Lewis up to doing some sign language, which has been funded by the charity, and he can actually get a qualification in BSL 1, and it will be really useful for him to just say, I've done something. Whilst he can get by, there might be some signs, or he might be doing something slightly inaccurate, but he can pass that on to his brother and start signing with him, signing with his deaf friends' parents who are deaf, and all of that. It just helps him.